Hello and welcome to The Industry, an esports insider podcast where we speak to people and personalities within the esports sector. I'm your host, Tom Daniels, and today I'm joined by Maksym Bilonogov, the Chief Visionary Officer of Ukrainian esports content production company, WePlay Esports. We'll be chatting about the company's exciting plans in 2023 and the challenges they faced in 2022 as well. But before we jump into this podcast, I do also want to mention that this episode is actually, in fact, in sponsorship with WePlay Esports. So not only do I thank WePlay for chatting to me right now, but also for helping the podcast out along the way. So, Max, before we jump in, how are you?
Hi, I'm pretty normal. You know how it can be normal. It's at times, but pretty normal.
I can imagine it's been very busy, especially from what we're going to be talking about today with WePlay.
Yeah, I can say that it's totally better when we have work and what we have to do, especially like we had news couple days, weeks, I don't know when this podcast will be live, so about the BTS studio, one of the oldest studio dedicated to the esport. So like I heard it's like esport winter now. So yeah, it's better to have a lot of jobs than don't have it at all.
Yes, definitely. So let's actually talk about this big news with WePlay. So let's talk about the recent news. Obviously, it's not gone live now, but when we're recording this, it will be live. You've undergone, let's just say a few changes. So for those who are unaware about the news, could you tell us what those are?
You mean about rebranding?
Yes.
Yeah. So the idea, like usually, I saw a couple examples when the company is doing rebranding and it's to make it a little bit fresh, to make the fresh design, fresh graphics, some PR activities, to be usually in the social media and some news and articles. But from the WePlay side, the first was the idea how the company changing from inside and how the company changing after the war started. And then the rebranding came organically here. So as you know, like WePlay started and we created only our own IPs and dedicated to the esports, Counter-Strike, Dota, fighting community. And now, after the war started and after we came to US, we fully understand that here it's not esport driven market. It's more entertainment, influencer driven market. So I can say that we are going a little bit out of the box of esport, going more to the gaming and entertainment. It's our skills that we already had, because mostly all of the team came from the traditional TV, concert industry, event industry. So we had this experience before the WePlay. But usually, on TV or any kinds of show, it's usually the same format, the same things you are doing each day. So that is why it's like one of the best people in the industry. They came to esport because there are no borders, there are no limitation, only your imagination. And now when we came to US, we fully understand that we can combine our passion to gaming, to the esport, to the shows, and no borders as a traditional TV, so we can create any type of format and any crazy idea with the influencers, and influencers will support these ideas. So yeah, I can say that we are definitely more than esport. It's about the future of entertainment, about concerts, about like sports shows, about variety shows, like gaming shows, some new cool formats. So that's it. We are a little bit another field, and that is why we have to create the new style of our company. Not only esport, it's part of the it will be WePlay Holding, WePlay Entertainment, whatever we're designing now, and esports will be one part of our company.
So are you keeping the WePlay moniker? Are you still keeping the name within this rebranding? Is it kind of more of an ethos change as opposed to actually like replacing the name essentially?
No. We keep this rights, definitely. As I told, it will be one of one part of our company holding about our one part of our structure. So we keep WePlay Esports. We have already WePlay holding company. It's a company that combining all of others. We have different assets as well as a title system, who is developing titles. So we just growing, and it's pretty good.
I think what's really interesting about this actually is it does go into this kind of topic of diversification, which is what I really wanted to break up with you with the actual topic with WePlay. Do you think that diversification is key kind of to kind of survival in the esports industry at this point? That you can't just be solely esports, you have to be esports and kind of go into influencers and go into kind of other sectors. And is it beneficial to do that anyway, even if it's not key?
There are there are different models on the market how to operate the business in gaming in esport. So you can be only covered studio, and you just focus on buying as much media rights as you can and hope that you will find the sponsorships, better betting partners, whatever, who will cover this cost, and have talents in your studio. It's one way of how to make it real in esport. Other way, you can be ESL or Blast company, who is working all over the world trying to find different and very creative ways of monetizing their content, working directly with the governments, directly working with the cities who can pay you to bring the big tournaments to their cities as well. So it's the second part, how you can work in esport. You can be white label, and we have good examples with StarLadder company that made their own APs and starting doing white labeling, great tournaments as well. So it's a third way how you can work around. So we are trying to use a hybrid model. So it's combination. We still working to launch our own IPs in Q3, Q4 on US market. And rarely we are doing white label production, but it's we don't do it as a white label production. Overall, during all of our activities, shows, whatever, we are positioning ourselves as an official production partner for the third party, and it's something that we are aiming to do in the future as well. So
yeah, I think what's really interesting, I kind of want to find out when this idea of going the influencer route and at least branching out and going into influencers. Obviously, you had a notable partnership with OTK in 2022. Was that kind of testing the waters a little bit to see whether going on the influencer market was the right way of going?
I can discuss that I can say that we discussed this deal more than a year, I think. So during we start preparation going to US market, getting on permissions from the city, it was COVID, it was really hard with logistics, and overall it was really hard. Then the war started as well. So we made research, we understood how. We didn't understand exactly how market working, but we had feeling that it's work like this, and we made couple calls and meetings with the OTK guys, with Tips and Reach. Reach worked for WePlay on Bukavel Minor, on Omega League. So it was pretty natural and organic partnership for us, because here we have the influencers who is driving from 7 to 9% of the Twitch audience in the US. We have one of the craziest production that can create any craziest idea that can OTK create, or we are creating usually together some ideas with their creative team, with their influencers. They, I think, could worry that it can look a little bit polished if WePlay will do their shows, and we will we will ruin this like OTK magic, how they're speaking with the audience. We were worried about that they're influencers and they don't want to make rehearsals and etc., always changing, always improvisation. But I think the best way and the best cases is to find the truth on the middle. So we're making steps for them. They're making steps for us, and we made like great announcement a year ago. We made OTK Game Expo. That was like I think a great show. It was the first WePlay show in US as well. We made like shareholders meeting. We made like karaoke stream with them, and we had bunch of events for the next year already set up and in development. So yeah, hope we will make with them like weekly shows, and we will deliver lots of content with them.
I can just imagine a conversation saying, we think that your production's just too high quality. Like it looks too smooth.
I definitely
It's
understand
really
them. I
interesting.
definitely understand them. You know, our idea when we started like speaking even with them, I always try to focus that we are not trying to represent WePlay in their shows because it's like OTK shows. Our idea to support as much as we can some things or like in your shows that will show you as best as you can imagine. So it's not about like we were in the same situation as I told on TV when we were always in the borders, always in a, so we don't want to put them in this situation where they hey, you should do like this and you shouldn't do like this. No, it's like as I told, it's organic partnership where we're all on the same page, and I think we will make much more cool things together.
Yeah, was it actually quite difficult then to kind of get your own kind of products, obviously with the Animajor, and that is very much like that is WePlay through and through in the sense of like the delivery, the production style, and then also kind of have be a production partner, and it's kind of essentially still have the same production technology, but kind of take that step back and say, okay, it's not WePlay, like you said, it is OTK, it is whoever the other partner is. Was that hard to kind of get that balance and find that balance for you guys?
I can say that it's a new experience definitely for WePlay to work like with third party with additional partners, and now we're making lots of event for the Hoyvers. It's a Chinese big publisher, so it's totally different workflow with them. But the stronger thing that most of the team made and had this conversation before the WePlay. So part of the team made events like opening stadiums or doing the biggest concerts or big building sets for the concerts, all creating the graphics. So usually before the WePlay, each, like mostly all of the team members had the experience how to deal with the client. And from that point, we don't have any problems. About the partnership, it's like, I think that like OTK guys or Hoyers or other partners, they usually can make interesting input and insights to the show, to the production, because they're definitely like OTKs, they know their audience better than we. They know how to speak with audience, they know the jokes, the memes, the culture, and everything the same as Hoyvers or like Starlay, Genshin. They know their lore, their game better, and their input, it's very important to us, and we always try to hear and to implement as much as we can.
Yeah, that's absolutely fascinating. And before we go forward into talking about expansion plans a little bit more, I do actually want to take a little bit back. So for people who don't know, obviously WePlay is a Ukrainian company, and obviously there's the full scale war with Russia. Obviously, I don't want to go obviously too much into like politics and stuff like that, but I do think it's very important to highlight the what is, to be honest, and this is me saying it, a difficult journey for WePlay for the past 12 months. Would you be able to detail like what some of the issues were with WePlay and what, because I from me reporting on it, it was quite difficult to kind of see, because I know that you had a base in Ukraine as well, weren't you? And there was problems with that. Are you able to detail a little bit about the journey from the aftermath of that?
Yeah, it's. I can say that no one thought that Russia will start full-scale war for Ukraine. Just want to mention that Russia is a terrorist state, and like, thank you for supporting Ukraine as much as you can, and thank you for all of the countries who is supporting, donated. The war is still continuing. Each day there are still sending bombs and to our country. And thank you for our forces, for like weapons, technology, and all support all over the world. We should stay together. And it's interesting that I always thought that like esport is the most, like one of the most progressive and fast growing industry. But after the war started, a lot of people showed their real faces, especially in the esport. Or I can say that like when you are 16 plus, 18 plus, you can't say that you're still young kid and you don't understand what is going on in the world. So you should make decision, you should make your steps, and you should answer for your steps. And a lot of people, players, showed their real face. But overall, let's go back to the WePlay, how it was. So I think 3 weeks before the war, I was in Los Angeles. We are working on like building the arena, setting all the like equipment, getting all permissions from the city. Then we had conversation with the Galaxy Racer guys, and they called, like we had some meetings with them, and they told, can we deliver the tournament in 36 days or something like this, 1 month, with the top teams. And just next day after the call, I grabbed my wife and we went to Kiev. We like packaged all the equipment, we gathered the team, sent 6 tons of equipment to Dubai, and like me and part of the team, we left Ukraine, I think one week before the war started. So we go to Dubai for scouting, to check the location, to check if the vendors is right, if it's everything okay, to find some location for the media days, etc., etc. So we started our preparation there. Part of the team, our engineers, left Ukraine 10 hours before the war started. So they just flew into the Dubai, take some food, and so that the war started. And they like didn't believe for this. It was definitely crazy. So instead of 19 people, or instead of 75 people in Dubai, we had only 19. And it was crazy. The first of all, you tried to realize how to deal with your family, with your staff, with everyone. And on the other hand, you should deliver the tournament that will start in a couple of days. You don't have enough people there, so a big shout out to Moritz. I just want to say a big thank you for him and his team to help us. So he asked me how is everything going. We told that like our content team, our director, our cameraman, they didn't come to Dubai. So Moritz came at the same day. So in the morning I had message, and in the evening I think he already was in Dubai to help us create the content. I called my sister in London, who is a photographer, so she came as well. We found one local guy. So overall, we had like 24, 25 people on site. I personally sat as a director and technical director to push buttons during the all tournament. And at the same time, we are trying to deal with the war, with everything. We're trying to speak from the start to Russian players, people's teams, but then we realized that it's not working. Like they're living in totally different world, and yeah, we were mostly focused on the war and the Ukrainian things. Our founders were in Ukraine, so they took responsibility for making steps in Ukraine, how to help the forces, how to help the people, and everything. And at the same time, like I get like, so we could, like lost reputation you can only once. So, and we couldn't do this as a WePlay as a company because we are talent. We always deliver in any situation, and we always deliver the best content as we can. So yeah, I saw like my colleagues sitting near in the control room just starting crying because someone lost of their friends lost like leg, and someone like occupied, etc., etc. So I saw some stuff crying near. We're trying to gather together to help each other, to support in moral way, to support in physical way, to send like lots of even food was a problem sometimes. So our people was driving a lot of go to the volunteering and still volunteering. Some of our guys into the forces, Ukrainian forces, and still fighting. Yeah, it's like it's hard now after like 1 year of the war phases, but it was like unbelievable. Still can't believe that it's real in 21st century.
Yeah, I think, and obviously there are a lot bigger things than esports when something so drastic like that. But I think it must have been good for WePlay to be able to have put on initiatives and actually have the ability to put on a lot of projects and a lot of initiatives. How was it, kind of working on these projects and being able to do some of these projects? I know one of them was it through WePlay Compete as well, which was like, was it Play for Ukraine? I think it was the project, but
I
how was it to kind of be
Yeah,
involved in all
I
that?
can say that like after the Dubai tournament, we didn't have any contract in US. We didn't have open studio in US. We didn't have enough equipment in US, and we were like 19 people in Dubai. Of course, first emotion was to came back to Ukraine and support as much as we can, but then we organized big meeting with team, with founders, start discussing our next steps and decided. So we got us a chance to go to LA with all of the team, trying to push and open the arena as fast as we can with OTK and start earning money and generating revenue to send this money and revenue to our people in Ukraine, to give them job, not to fire them, and find as much projects as we can. So all equipment from Dubai we sent to Los Angeles, 6 ton of equipment. Uh, we rushed to open our arena with OTK announcements and made Game Expo on the July 7th, if I'm not wrong. Then we make on 13th of September the Genshin Impact quiz on 10th. And on August, before this, we signed the deal with Enthusiast Gaming, and we're official production partner for the NFL Tuesday Night Gaming Show. It's like big show with NFL. We didn't even realize that NFL it's the biggest brand in the US. So we just came there. They told NFL, didn't see any emotions on our face. This is NFL. We thought, okay, like we will deliver, no problem, yeah. But this is NFL. We thought, no, okay, yeah, let's work together. So we didn't have so much excitement about this because we understood that we need bam, project, money, help. And yeah, I totally understand now that it was the right decision to move here because it's in Ukraine. It's pretty hard situation dedicated to the media, culture, and broadcasting overall, show creating, entertainment. There are no time for it's not the right time for the entertainment now. And our industry, it's really hard now in Ukraine with any kind of media, entertainment industry to find a job, etc., etc. So we from Ukraine, we opened our office in Ivano-Frankivsk, on the more safer part of Ukraine. We made the remote production, so the people in Ukraine can operate Los Angeles arena as well. So all Game Expo first tournament, like the directors and editors were in Ukraine. And yeah, I just remember some situation when they're sending the missiles to Ukraine, they're going to the bomb shells, creating graphics on the laptops and going up, uploading that and going back to the bomb shells. It was crazy days, literally, but we operated the WePlay Academy League from fourth to the second season. Yeah, it was online without any LAN events, and we definitely love this IP, but we need to put it on hold till the end of the war, because a lot of things went wrong. The war ruined entirely all of our strategies that we had, so we're building a new one. That is why it's really good and big appreciation for our founders as well, because they're really flexible and they can make decisions really fast when like I'm coming to them and proposing some ideas, or we are sitting together and brainstorming. We are flexible and really fast to make decisions. So I think it's our one of the biggest advantages. So in Ukraine, we made the Academy League, the first, fifth, and the sixth season. And I think and very proud that we have partnered with Megagov. It's Ukrainian media platform, and we are doing from our studios with them. We made FIFA World Cup Qatar soccer, and now we're doing UEFA Champions League, like UEFA League, Champions League soccer as well. We made a Fury Chisora Real Box, and we already signed the partnership till the end of the 23rd year. So overall, all of this year we will work together. So we have work for our people in Ukraine as well. Part of the team working for LA, working remotely, part of the team working directly towards the Ukrainian market. So yeah, for us, it's a really big deal, and maybe the most important things to save the team, save as much people as we can.
So when you're talking about kind of like rebuilding everything, it's kind of insane that really, like, essentially this last 12 months has been kind of building a strategy, creating a new strategy and executing it. Like, and the US, like you said, seemed to be one of those main points to kind of go into. Like now you're in the US and it's you're a little bit more settled in the US market itself. What are like some of the main differences, apart from the fact that it's more influencer focused compared to, you know, even in Europe in general? Like what are some of the main differences when you've had to learn along the way with the US and that expansion in there?
So I can say that the main advantage is that if you want to operate something in Europe or to create show or any other content, you should deal with like lots of countries with different languages. So each country have their own local offices or representative from different sponsors. Um, in some countries, it's headquarters of the big brands. In some countries, it's not. So it's long time to go to the headquarters to approve the budget, etc., etc. In US, we have like English and Spanish language. It's mostly like it's a lot of headquarters of the biggest sponsors here, and yeah, I can say that negotiation taking very long time, like dedicated to the contracts and paperwork, but when it's come to execution, they want to make really fast and the best. So it's something that we like to do. Like we like to have challenges with the sponsors, with everything. During the NFL Tuesday Night Gaming with Enthusiast Gaming, we worked with like and integrated into the show a lot of like big sponsors such as Paramount, Disney, DreamWorks activation for Puss in Boots movie, Xbox, Verizon, Sour Patch Kids, Chunky Soup, and like we integrated it with EG help and with our like creative ideas as well. So we pretty now have a big experience how to work with the biggest brands in the US market. It was fun that sometimes when someone come into our studio and saw the like how we are rehearsing for the NFL show, they told, okay, if it's good enough for NFL, it's good enough for us. So some kind of it's some kind of that we are professionally passed our test with such kind of the show. And yeah, it's like I can't say that we even didn't have time to realize what is going on, to analyze what we did. So we are just keep working, keep networking, negotiation for the new project, find the new clients, etc., etc., etc. So it's nonstop, really nonstop working.
It's really interesting because I think a lot of people kind of look at WePlay Esports from the outset and do think like tournament organizer. Like I said, they look at the Animajor, they look at other tournaments, but it seems that in the US market, it's very much been focused on providing these production services and a lot more collaborations. Is there thoughts of potentially doing some actual WePlay tournaments in the US, or is that a bit too far for now?
I can say that looks like more like we play entertainment or media company. We had a lot of like unique technologies dedicated to the virtual production and augmented reality. We will have big news in next like half a year about our expansion as well. Today we will have a Fortnite tournament, like literally in 6 hours. We will have broadcast show and Fortnite tournament for the NFL Tuesday night game, and it will be the finals. Trophy, traditional esports show. Yeah, we are working on a couple different esport tournaments as well. Sometimes it's kind more show than competitive. Some kinds now we're developing really like tier one esport as well. So I can't say that we are going out from the esport now, but it's only part what we are doing because around a lot of interesting technologies, possibilities, experience, something new to learn. And yeah, we are open for any opportunities. And we just we position ourselves that we are like content driven company and we really had a big passion for what we are doing. So we are trying to make iconic content in any of the media field, if we have opportunity to make it in esports with tier one teams, we will make it. If we have it like opportunity to make it dedicated to the gaming show or the concert or the Hollywood movie, definitely we will be down.
What's some of the differences then from like a production services standpoint, and when you're collaborating with these entities, from an esports entity to more of an influencer led and influencer focused? Are there specific differences that you see the two, or is it kind of a one size fits all?
I can say that the pipeline pretty is the same. I can't. Yeah, of course, you need to have more experience in in direction, in storytelling, how to put together run of show and how to put together all of the show, different angles. If we're speaking about director of photography work, etc., etc. But as I said, it's skills that we already had, so it wasn't a problem for us. It's pretty the same.
I think one last thing that I kind of want to talk about before we get to like the conclusion of this is I love the CS:GO WePlay Academy League. I think it's just personally for me, I think it's a great initiative. I think more scouting competitions, essentially more competitions to drive more players in from a younger age is always great, especially from a high competitive level. How do you feel like the WePlay Academy League has kind of evolved and grown now? I think it's done 6 seasons now.
Yeah, we made 6 seasons already, and I can say that we definitely love this AP. It's a great AP, and we love it. And it's really hard to say that we need to hold it, because the idea was to give the new players and young players LAN experience, to showcase them, to create the big and interesting content for them, like in some kind to teach them how to present themselves on the big stages. And unfortunately, because of war and a lot of things, it's unreal to continue to do it now. And we spoke with team and telling them that we need to put it on hold till the end of the war, especially like as you see what is going on in esports overall, about sponsors, about companies, about the biggest sponsors like BMW left esport, even like BTS as example closed their studio. So it's pretty hard times for esports. I'm worried about like I hope that esport will transform in some kind, in a different, and will go to another definitely level. And now we are focusing, as I told, to keep keep paying our people salary, to have as much content and work as we can where we can earn the money. And if we are earning more than like breaking even, and we're like have a good profit, so where's this profit using? Not for putting it into the like academy league. We're like donating a lot through the, like Techia Foundation, and supporting our people, like our forces, and try or reinvesting into the potential new business and new products that can earn us more money. So now we are focused on this academy league. It was more strategic product for overall esport, because we definitely feel that we need to grow this industry together. We need to develop this industry. We need to showcase the new talents. We need to showcase like academies. We had possibilities to help, I think, the industry as well. So now it's a little bit different times, but I really hope that the war will finish our victory as soon as possible, and we will start doing this kind of content as soon as possible as well.
Yeah, is it kind of essentially consolidating the positions that you can get the most out of right now? And unfortunately, because of the well, not even just the situation that kind of that's happening in Ukraine, but the general global economic situation, not just even in esports, we could go even further, around the world. Is it essentially now you're trying to find like what's the most optimized way for an esports company right now, and then using that, and then hopefully things will get better, and then you can kind of go back to these things that develop the more greater ecosystem? Because I agree with you, like with the WePlay Academy League, it was very much, it felt like it was we're helping the CSGO ecosystem kind of thing, and where unfortunately not all these things can be done when there's not that investment, or there's not that funding, or there's not that sponsorships, right?
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's like we are now find the best and the most rational ways how to operate like our company, with hoping and with like preparing when everyone will be better, and we will start and we will keep doing such kind of content.
So I guess my final question, and I like to ask this for everyone, I always try and end it on a little bit of a higher note, and it's basically, I want to know what the goals and ambitions are for WePlay for 2023. Like, what are like your 3-point plan, 5-point plan, 20-point plan. What are you trying to achieve this year for WePlay?
I remember when we started WePlay in 2018, 2018, we in a small studio when we made Reshuffle Madness for the Dota 2, we spoke with team about like we want to do something like major, or we want to work on the international like in 5 years. And the fun story is that we made Bukavel Minor. We worked for the late night show for Shanghai International and made Animajor after 3 years. So we made it faster. Now I can say that we're sitting sometimes with team and like drinking tea and some dreaming about what we can do. So our goals for the like next steps and our next goals it's big stadium scale events, 100%. It's taking part in creating Hollywood movies with like AAA Hollywood movies, and it's like some dreams to create show for like halftime show for the Super Bowl. To create like the most like to build more arenas and studios dedicated to the technology, dedicated not only to the esport but for the shooting for the music video commercials, Hollywood movies for Netflix, etc. So the next steps is to grow infrastructure to find more talented people to work together, to create more iconic content. And I think it's very big luck if during even that times you can create something that you really have passion and you really love. It's a big luck that, like, it's, I don't know how to say it properly, when you're still like talented and on the same page with the audience, because you can deliver, and sometimes bow and you're in another world. Something that you are doing, it's already old. It's already not interesting. It's something how we are speaking now with the biggest like media company in US. They told, okay, we are old now. Like we saw your studio, we saw your style, you saw your way how to broadcast. We understand that like you're a new generation of media now, and we're already old. It's hard to realize, but we should say this. And it's if we have enough like health, enough time, enough passion to creating the great content, we will keep growing, keep going, and keep doing as much as we can from our side, and we'll see how it will be.
Max, genuinely, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and I appreciate the honesty, especially going back, in the times with last year as well. But is there any last words that you want to say before I say goodbye to the audience as well?
Yeah, just one more time, want to say that like keep support Ukraine, keep support our people. I just want to thank you for everyone who will watch, who will hear this podcast from all over the world, and keep supporting. The war still continue, and as fast as we will finish it, so as fast we will make more content.
Amazing. Thank you everybody as well from my side for watching this episode. We do have many other episodes. We have one with like Twitter, we have one with Blast, we have one with Esports Awards. I'm trying to list them off now off the top of my head. But yeah, and also don't forget to check out the ESI for All as well for that podcast. I really appreciate that. But until then, I'll see you later.